Welcome back to the Blitz Preview Show. Once again, the Eastern Carolinas will have its share of star players to watch for this season. But before we introduce you to them, let's talk about some of the players that won't be around for this year. No position goes quite underneath the microscope like the quarterback, and many of our local schools will be going through changes underneath center. But nowhere will there be bigger shoes to fill than right here at the backyard for the new QB who has to don the gold and green of Conway. Dakota Derrick threw more touchdowns in his junior and senior years than any other Conway quarterback has ever thrown. The burden of replacing maybe the best QB in school history falls on senior Ryan Hardwick.
We were down there working on pass fit. We've had to put a little more time there knowing that he's not going to be able to see blitzes and pick them up as well just because he hadn't done it quite as many times.
The Conway-Hartsville Showdown will have two new QBs this year. The Red Foxes have turned the reins over from Will Newsom to junior Dylan Usher.
I'm not really a drop-back passer. I'm timing receiver, making the reads quick, and I can run the option more this year than we did last year.
The changes continue in 4A Region 6 as Carolina Forest moves up in class. They also move to junior Matt Jolly under center. In the Panthers' old region, 3A Region 7, two beach schools have new QBs to watch out for. The triple option of Sockasty will be headed up by Zach Elliman, who takes over for Willis Mills. At St. James, Coach Billy Hurston is excited about his sophomore replacement to Skylar Brown.
Chase Smith. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, just going to be a sophomore. He's got a strong arm. He's an honor student, straight A's, got a great understanding. He went to quarterback camp, worked with Jerry Nettles. Chase is going to be a very good quarterback.
In 2A, all eyes will be on Shiraz Gray Stafford as the senior tries to keep the Braves' hopes alive of winning their third straight championship.
There's definitely a lot of pressure. If I mess up on Friday night, the fans will definitely, be buzzing and talking about it. So I got to make sure I'm on top of my game.
In 1A, Lamar's QB situation is murky. J.R. Boyd is still looking for a replacement for his departed son, Tyler. He has three candidates that he's still uncertain on, but he says he's confident all three are capable of doing the job. Surely the destiny of one team is not determined by one player, but all of these teams are depending on their new quarterbacks to adapt and learn quickly in order to have a successful season.
All those quarterbacks will look to have the kind of breakout season Denzel Wedgeworth had right here last year for Hemingway. But unfortunately for the Tigers, their big offensive star will not be with them this season. But here is a look at some offensive stars that will make big contributions to their programs this season.
I'm a good competitive player. When the ball game's on the line, I want the ball, and I know how to take care of the situation.
His last name may be small, but he's a threat to pick up big yardage every time he touches the ball. Shiraz Travis Small will lead the Braves' rushing attack along with Montrell Evans. Timmonsville has a thunder and lightning duo of their own in returning 1,000-yard rushers Antonio Bubba McAllister and Fred Wilhite. In Lake City, Sean Carson is another back with a nose for the end zone, and not to be outdone, Brian Gillard is quick and crafty and will put up big numbers for the Swamp Fox. At quarterback, Myrtle Beach's silky smooth sophomore Everett Golson is coming off a ridiculous rookie season with 32 touchdowns, and Marlboro County's Elliot Alford is already getting big-time looks by BCS programs.
This year I've been working my speed, my strength, got a lot fast and stuff. This year they want to know if I'm able to stop my run or my pass. They want to know which one to stop.
Also keep an eye on SoFlo's Troy Jones and North Myrtle's Daniel Smith. Big-time college programs have an eye on a trio of tight ends. USC commit Justice Cunningham will be their go-to guy at Central. Virginia Tech has locked in the Bulldogs' Tyrell Edwards, and Georgetown's Kennard Gadsden Gilliard is being pursued by Georgia.
For Georgetown, we known for getting after it. We the dogs, we hungry, so we want to get after you and play smash my ball. And that's what we're going to do this year.
In the trenches, another Gathers coming down the pike in Carver's Bay. Kwame stands 6'6" and a strong 320 pounds. In Carolina Forest, Drew Herring will anchor the Panthers line. And up the road in Conway, the big three of Erskine Johnson, Timothy Fowler, and Cody Hayes will hold down the line for the Tigers. And finally, it's time for the big-time playmakers at wide receiver. Another Bulldog barks. Kinsman Thomas is a mismatch for any defensive back. Conway coach Chuck Jordan calls Jason Livingston their playmaker. And look out for Ainer's Nick Asbury, Mullins Quan McFarland, and Myrtle Beach's Jameer Valentine. Now it's time to jump to the other side of the ball, where the best recruit in the Palmetto State does his damage. West Florence's defensive end Malachi Goodman has already committed to Clemson, but before he takes one snap in the orange and purple, he plans on playing his final high school game in Death Valley. Malachi was a messenger of the Bible.
Green 82, ready, set, go!
Good. For West Florence, their Malachi may end up being a deliverer. With a 7-foot wingspan, the Knights' 6'4", 250-pound defensive end is considered the best player in South Carolina.
I don't try to shine on it too much because I'm trying to focus. I'm just like everybody else. I'm just trying to play the ball just like everybody else.
Hard to believe the man-child called Hands didn't even consider playing football.
I wasn't going to play football in middle school. Somebody kept begging me to play. So I said, what the heck, I might as well try out. So I tried out, made it, started that year. Started my 8th grade year and ended up doing real good.
Headed to Clemson next year, Goodman this year once again will get some help from his friends as West Florence possesses 4 future ACC players.
That's pretty impressive with any school, but West Florence has traditionally not been a football type of school.
Offensive tackles John Coleman and Sidney Sarmento will once again play for a school not known for their football at Duke, while linebacker Avery Murray will head to Maryland to play for the Terrapins.
It really goes to our coaches. Really, they work hard and work us in the weight room and make sure we bust our butts on the field to get a chance to play at this level, next level.
They play with a lot of pride and a lot of dedication, and they're great kids. They're good athletes. They're good football players, but the big thing is they're good students. These kids are just wonderful human beings, and I'm just glad they're on our team.
And for the self-proclaimed ACC boys, they're hoping to lead West Florence to new heights before moving on.
Well, Chris, some of the best defensive stars always patrol the field right here in Dillon. The Wildcats lost 8 starters on that side of the ball, but they still have plenty of talent to lead that Nasty Cat defense. The Nasty Cat defense will be led by one of the best linebackers in the PD. Senior LaTuan Thompson anchors the unit, but will also rely heavily on seniors Anthony Smith and Kevin Dixon in the defensive backfield.
It's really no pressure built because, we out there coach do what we do, so they should connect with the people that step in, just feel in.
The best linebacker in the Eastern Carolinas, Baby Lakeview's Quanton Christian. Other linebackers to keep your eye on are Shiraz Kenyatta Gary, Central's Chad Lawrence, and Conway's Mike Frazier.
We're moving Mike inside to Mike linebacker, and he's a guy that makes plays all over the field, and I think that you're going to have to worry about him first, because if you don't consider him, then he's going to be a problem for people.
In the secondary, Myrtle Beach head coach Scott Early called safety Demasio Skelton the best player on his team that nobody knew about. As the Hawks' defensive leader this year, he won't be able to escape the hype. Other secondary stars to watch out for include Conway's Seth Moreland, Floris's Titus Leaks, and Chesterfield's Carlos Robinson. There are defensive line stars all over the Eastern Carolinas, including Georgetown's Gary Sessions, Marlboro's Tyreek Edwards, Lakeview's Paul Thompson, and Myrtle Beach's Matt Smith. Meanwhile, to find the best pair of bookends, just look at Hartsville's Damian Blakeney and Lee McDaniel.
Most of us think knowledge and strength because we got pretty arms, especially in the weight room. I'm working hard every day.
Offense wins games, defense wins championships, as the saying goes. The teams represented by these defensive stars feel good about their championship chances going into 2008.
They've combined for more than 10 state championship game appearances. Coming up, we sit down with the iconic coaches Bill Tate and Jewel McLaurin, find out what their most memorable moments are just ahead.